What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another action figure review here on the channel. And today, as you can see, we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Spider-Man 3. Well, we'll say Black Suit or Symbiote Suit Spider-Man, whatever you want to call it. This, I think, just recently came out and it was released. I'm a massive Black Suit Spider-Man fan, so, of course, I had to get this one. So, just based on first impressions in the box, looks pretty good. Paint, for the most part, doesn't look too bad. You get to see this nice window here. I like this aesthetic with these blues and stuff on the side because it's very reminiscent of the original 2007. I don't know what we would call it because they weren't technically Marvel Legends, but they were 6-inch action figures for the Spider-Man 3 wave. And they have this kind of the blue with the movie title, and there's this blue behind him. And then you look to the back, and it kind of carries that whole kind of white and blue, which I really like. It's really kind of a cool nod to that. And then we got these really cool images of Spider-Man on the sides, a little like face guard at the bottom, the Symbiote Spider logo on the top. Got all your warnings and your barcodes and everything on the bottom. And then, as you see on the back, we got a couple product shots, a little read-up, and some more information about the figure. So that's it for him in the box. Let's take him out of here and see just how cool this figure really is. Alright, and here he is out of the packaging with all of his accessories. And, yeah, he's a solid figure. I like him. One thing I do really like is I wish I had him still with me, but as you can see, the figure's actually black. Whereas if you had any, like I mentioned a little bit earlier about the packaging on the older Spider-Man 3 figures, the black suit figures we got were more of a gray. So I do appreciate that this figure is actually genuinely black. So that was really nice. It is, for anyone who just saw the actual images of this figure that you could have probably guessed, it's literally the exact same body as the No Way Home Spider-Man, just with different chest pieces. That's about it, but we'll get into more of that a little bit later when we do size comparisons and things. So, just the figure itself. What are my thoughts on it? I like it. It's, like I said, it's solid. Do I love it? No, I don't. Especially not for the price. Because initially when this figure was announced, it was going to be $32.99. I ended up paying $34.99 because I know for a lot of people, me included obviously, it went up a little bit. I was sketchy on $32.99, but again, it's a black suit Spider-Man. Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters. Black Suit's my favorite Spider-Man suit. I wanted a good Spider-Man 3 style Black Suit Spider-Man, so I was willing to pay a little bit more for it. Then when I ended up having to pay $34.99 for it, so I went from being $33 to $35 essentially, I'm going to judge it a little bit harsher now. Now, I know that's kind of ironic coming from the guy who had no problem paying $50 for the Maximum Spider-Man, but this isn't being promoted as the Maximum Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man, whatever. You get your figure, 2 heads, 3 sets of hands, which is nice. I do appreciate that they gave us the 3 sets of Spider-Man hands and this little symbiote thing. So, I don't feel like it was worth $35. I feel like $30 probably would have been the most. Honestly, if they, as much as I like this, which I'll show it off a little bit here. I know I'm kind of going a little bit offhand from what I normally do, but this figure's kind of weird. But I like the sculpt on this. The paint apps are really good. You can see there's a lot of really cool details on it. And you can kind of just, here, I'll show it off properly. You basically just kind of tuck this little bit here around his arm, sling it over his head, and then you pop the head on. So it looks like it's kind of, you can almost kind of like recreate like the bell tower scene where like he hits the bell and the noise doesn't like it. And it fits securely on there. It's not, wiggling around or anything. It's cool. Do I need it though? Not really. I mean, you could have just given me the 2 heads and all the hands, if getting rid of this would have dropped it to like $30, I would have been okay with that. I don't feel like I needed this little symbiote ooze thing. It's cool that they added it, don't get me wrong, but if I could have saved a little bit, I would have been fine with just this. Honestly, I would have been really fine with just this. Like, keep it at 25 or something. Because we do have... I mean, granted, not everyone is going to be in this situation, but I did get the prior Spider-Man for No Way Home, so I have the Peter Parker head sculpt. Granted, it's not emo Spidey, but I already have a Peter Parker head sculpt if I really wanted to display it. So, I don't know. This one's kind of weird. I don't know how to feel about it. But let's take a little closer look at the accessories. I already showed off the little Venom ooze guy, so we'll put him off the side now. I do appreciate that they gave us the, quote, emo Peter head sculpt. And it has the kind of... And I like the sculpting on the hair. Like, it's very much like the slit back hair that he had in the movie. He kind of has almost like dark around the eyes there. In this facial printing thing they do now, I can't remember the exact name of it. That does look like Tobey Maguire. It looks really, really good. And then if I bring in the Tobey from the No Way Home one, like, you could tell that that's Tobey. It is kind of funny to me for the emo one, because you can tell, like, this hair is black, this hair is dark brown. So it's almost like his hair, he even was dyeing his hair or something. But it is cool. I do like it. I'm not mad that they gave it to me. It's just kind of, you know, did I need it? Not necessarily. And then we get the extra sets of hands. We have the whipping hands, web shooting hands. And these all look really good. The paint is pretty tight on all of them. At least as tight as it can be for something so small. I love the black and the silver contrast. It's one of the reasons why I love this. I do like this suit a lot. I know it's not a lot of people's favorite, but I think it's very cool. I love the sculpt on these hands, on these wool crawling hands. I wish we would get these more. Even the webbing on the palm is very clean, and that's on both of them here. I'll show you here. They both look, you know, very good, very clean. Same thing with the web shooting hands here. You can see there. And then taking a little bit of a closer look at the figure. This right here is kind of my biggest issue with the figure, which is the same I had with this guy. And it's that goofy, weird, kind of wide face. And you can really see it at the bottom with it. The webbing gets really wide. Whereas in the movies, his face was a lot longer. This feels a lot more squished. But aside from that, like, I love how the spider looks. I love how big it is. It looks very clean. The webbing on the figure looks very clean the whole way down. Even on the feet. Looks very good. Even around here. It's cleaner than my Maximum Spider-Man. Isn't that crazy? It looks like there are some spots where they could have maybe touched it up with a second go-around, but, you know, that's not the biggest issue. I'd rather it be a little bit light and clean. And then we have the spider on the back. It's a tiny bit messy because of how, like, the break is. But you can even see when you bend it. It even goes up in there, which I do appreciate. You know, even on the back of the head there. So yeah, paint on this guy is actually really, really good. Whether it be on the actual figure, on the accessories, it does look pretty good. So here, let me actually pop the heads off so you can kind of see it on the figure, how that looks. It is kind of funny seeing emo hair Spidey when he wasn't really in the full costume with the emo look. He just had the like button-up shirt over top of it. But yeah, I mean, it's a good-looking figure. I do want to do the head swap with the normal Peter head, see how well this fits. And yeah, it fits pretty good. Doesn't, hinder articulation or anything. I don't mind that, actually. That looks pretty solid. That's not bad. I almost kind of like that a little bit better, to be honest. But yeah, looks pretty good. Let's get his Spidey head back on here. And then we can go over the articulation here. One issue I am having is that you can kind of see he's like wobbly in like the top part, or like the diaphragm piece. Does the other Spider-Man have that? Not really, no. So I don't know if that's just a copy on mine or maybe an issue with the mold over time, but yeah, I don't know. He looks good at least. Alright, getting down to articulation. It's very, very standard for most Marvel Legends. If you could see from me swapping heads, he does have the head on the dumbbell joint, which unfortunately isn't my favorite because I feel like you can't get as good of range of motion. But going off here, we do have, can swivel the head. He will look up about that far, which is decent, I guess. He can't really look down at all, which sucks. He has, hinges up at the arms. They can go out the whole way. Bicep swivels. He has double jointed elbows there. All of the hands he comes with are on hinges. There you can see, and then obviously they all swivel. He does have butterfly joints, but you can kind of see they don't cut them in far enough, I don't think. Maybe they didn't want to ruin the sculptor, especially for this one. It might have dug too close to the spider legs. How was it on the other one? It's about as safe. This one they could have, because the spider's much closer to his chest. They could have cut the articulation on the butterfly joint in a little bit further, but oh well. At least he has the butterfly joint, but I mean, that's about as inward as they go. I can't really get and there's not a whole lot of frontward motion. It's not great, it really doesn't. And then moving back, it doesn't really, I don't know if maybe mine's just stiff, but it just doesn't move that much at all. That's all the motion I get from that butterfly joint. He does have a diaphragm, which gives you a little bit of wiggly waggly. You can crunch it forward with the ab crunch about that far. He'll crunch backward very far. That is one of the things I do like about the diaphragm and the U-joint, but it does annoy me that he's so wiggly. Up here, that shouldn't be going on. Nothing at the waist because of the U-joint. He can kick that far forward, not really back that much, just a tiny little bit. He can split about that far. We do have thigh swivel. He has double jointed knees, which are good. He can ankles move forward, move up a decent bit actually. And of course we do have the ankle pivot, which is pretty good. So articulation-wise, it's solid. It's the exact same body essentially as that No Way Home Spider-Man. I wish the butterfly joints would cut in more. Maybe give him some drop-down hips or something, but it's for a standard Spider-Man, it's fine. For a $35 Spider-Man, I kind of wish he had a little bit more. Alright, now moving on to size comparisons, and this is probably the one that matters the most, I'm going to talk about the most. Here he is next to the No Way Home figure, and it almost looks like the black suit Spidey is a little, a hair taller. It could just be my angle, but he does look a little bit taller. But again, it's literally the exact same figure, minus the chest pieces, because the spider is sculpted in. You can see it's not painted, which I do appreciate. And of course, the back spiders are different too. So basically, the whole torso, for this whole front piece has got a different sculpt on it. But then the back's down here. The back part's different. The front, I think, is exactly the same. Maybe... Oh, they didn't even continue the web lines down there. They did on here. What the heck, man? This figure costs more. You should be... Hasbro. You guys are killing me, man. But that, anyway, that's how these two look next to each other. Here he is next to the Amazing Spider-Man 2 / No Way Home Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. And he's definitely taller, so there he is next to him. And then we have, here he is next to the other figure from that wave. We have the Tom Holland Spidey from No Way Home. See how they look. Here he is next to, I figure why not show him next to this guy. This is the PS4 Spider-Man figure, the Advanced Suit 1.0. I never got the, and he does have a different head. I put the retro card, I think it was actually the Ben Reilly retro card Spider-Man head on him, because I didn't like how square job the one he came with was. But that's how they look, because I figured, hey, let's do some kind of other Spider-Man media. Here is next to the last Marvel Legends I reviewed, which again was also Spider-Man. We have the Maximum Spider-Man, and he's quite a bit taller. I don't know, man. Seeing it, it's seeing it these two next to each other. When this came out first, this came out after, and I get it. This is whole Maximum Spider-Man, but it just makes me like this figure more. It really does. Like this, I'm kind of disappointed in this, them next to each other, which is unfortunate because it is a good figure. I do like it. It's just, you know, it's when we're charging that much more, you know, I expect, you know, better, to be quite honest. And then of course we have a couple black suit Spider-Mans to compare him to here. This is the, oh my gosh, what was this? This was the, was it the Sandman Build-A-Figure Wave Spider-Man on the old Pizza Spidey mold, which mine, for whatever reason, like this arm does not go in anymore. I don't know if the plastic's fused or what, but yeah. So there he is next to him. Here he is next to, this is the Secret Wars wave from a little bit ago that I reviewed, Black Suit Spider-Man. Maybe I can get him to stand up. That's how they look together. And they're very similar in scale, almost the same size. So I feel like he almost maybe should be a little bit taller. And last but not least, here he is next to my favorite Black Suit Spider-Man in my collection. We have the Spider-Man the Animated Series cell-shaded Black Suit Spider-Man from the Carnage 2-pack. So, final thoughts on this guy, and I hate to say it, I'm very conflicted. I like the figure, I genuinely do. It looks good, the articulation's solid, the accessories are nice that we come with, but again, for $35, I can't say he's worth it. And I mean, I get it. Everything's going up. Just in general, toy prices are going up. The tariffs did have an effect. We don't know how long that's going to last. I can't justify $35 on this. I really can't. I couldn't justify $33. This figure, I think I said it earlier, the most I'd be willing to comfortably, the most this could cost for me to recommend it would be $30. Because like I said, I do really like the sculpt, the paint looks good, the accessories are nice, we get a very kind of, you know, meme-worthy, iconic Peter Parker head that we've never seen before. We've seen Tobey Spider-Man heads before, which is nice. We've even seen stuff like this before on, you know, other figures. So, I mean, getting it's cool, and we got the proper hand accessories. But this is kind of like, it's the black suit and the emo. The emo head's really kind of like the big thing about this, in the better articulated body, because if you did have that older black suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3, they were not the greatest. They had these they didn't have articulated wrists. They were I think his one hand did, but then the other hand was like static because you could plug in a web effect. So yeah, unfortunately, as much as I like this figure, I don't think I can recommend it. I don't. I really don't. As much as I do like it, it's just that cost, it just does not feel like you're getting I don't feel like I got my money's worth with this. I mean, would I have bought this had I not had started this channel and wanted to review it? Yes, because I'm a Black Suit Spider-Man fan. Would I have pre-ordered it though? Probably not. I might have even waited to find this in the wild or something. But I don't know. It's a cool figure. Don't get me wrong. I do like it. I'm glad I have it. It's just I can't recommend this figure at that price, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it is right now. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Let me guys know your thoughts. Did you pick up this figure? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's not worth it? But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So, like, comment, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I genuinely appreciate it. I love doing this. And yeah, that's going to be it for me today. You guys have an awesome one. Peace and love, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one.